Michelle Obama has openly admitted that she and Barack sleep in separate bedrooms. Here's how it works. She sleeps downstairs, and he likes men. Chinning. The weather. Let's do a monologue. Rumors continue to escalate for the Obamas. Hopefully they can settle it like men.
And my goodness, you want to talk about the most overrated political hype of a generation? It would go to Michelle Obama. Anyway, that's just a side note that's been on my mind for a while.
I'm happy to make fun of her look. It's very strange. It was Benny Johnson who dubbed that one hairstyle the Stegosaurus.
I'm not getting into that.
She like 3 bumps on the back, Stegosaurus. It's very strange.
UST when Michelle Obama thought she could sail into Netflix glory with green smoothies and feel-good quotes. Boom! Greg Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly stormed in like a truth bomb hurricane at a Sunday brunch. Gutfeld's sarcasm is slicing, sharper than Michelle's famously toned arms, while Megyn's digging up old receipts like she's doing a deep cleanse on the White House itself. Now, the Queen of Cool is feeling the heat, and this spotlight's hotter than a morning workout with Barack. What shocking secrets did they drag into the daylight? Let's just say, it's a whole lot messier than a spilled kale smoothie.
Michelle thinks American men suck.
Let me warn you, your rage does not exist in a vacuum. If we don't get this election right, your wife, your daughter, your mother, we as women will become collateral damage to your rage. To the women listening, we have every right to demand that the men in our lives do better by us. We have to use our voices to make these choices clear to the men that we love. Our lives are worth more than their anger and disappointment.
What's that pitter-patter sound I'm hearing in the background? It's the footsteps of Barack running to vote for Trump.
Michelle Obama struts into the political spotlight like it's the Met Gala meets a TED Talk, arms waving, quotes flowing, and the internet locked in full-on icon mode. Meanwhile, the media showers her with praise like she just cured. Inflation, rewrote the Constitution, and whipped up a batch of gluten-free brownies all before lunch. Apparently, every time Michelle breathes, America is supposed to feel spiritually reborn. No pressure, right? Just your casual ex-first lady turned high priestess of moral superiority. But now, Megyn Kelly and Greg Gutfeld are toasting. Her public image like a marshmallow that thinks it's a firework. Soft roast, hard truth.
So, Kat, they know that they're having a hard time with men.
Right.
Doesn't seem like this is the right strategy.
No.
She basically says that they're hurting women by voting for Trump.
But I think they don't understand that where it comes from in the first place is that people are sick of being told how bad they are and talked down to and
Absolutely. Here's a sharper, more dramatic rewrite in a bold, clickbait tone. Let's be real. Michelle Obama's political presence is like tofu at a Texas barbecue. No one asked for it, but there it is, soaked in moral seasoning and acting, like it's the star of the show. For over a decade, she's been rebranding herself as America's unofficial life coach, tossing out Pinterest-level pep talks about hope and belief like she's running a pop-up therapy booth in a mall that's falling apart. Inspiring? Maybe? Overexposed? Definitely.
Republican women are too dumb to make up their own minds about President Trump. They did it because they're men. Told them to after that ridiculous, remember that ad the Democrats ran with Julia Roberts voiceover where the women
I remember.
like secretly...
It's our little secret. Yep,
yeah, this is what they think of. This is what they think of Republican women.
And yet, here comes Megyn Kelly, absolutely done with Michelle Obama's latest non-political political tour. Because nothing says I'm not running for office like nonstop media appearances, Netflix productions, a best-selling memoir titled The Light We Carry, which honestly sounds like a rejected Coldplay album, and an entourage big enough to stage a military coup. Michelle swears she's just a humble American, casually broadcasting unity from her Martha's Vineyard mansion, all while raking in more brand deals than a Kardashian with a TikTok promo code.
Michelle Obama, listen to this.
And at this phase of my life, I'm in therapy right now because I'm transitioning. You know, I'm 60 years old. I finished a really hard thing in my life with my family intact. I'm an empty nester. My girls are in, you know, they've been launched. And now for the first time, as I've said before, every choice that I'm making is completely mine. I now don't have the excuse of, well, my kids need this or my husband needs that or the country needs that. So how do I think about this next phase?
Once again, speaking a reference to her time as First Lady negatively, and I'm transitioning. I mean, an interesting choice of words given how the internet refers to her.
Greg Gutfeld, forever the snarky gremlin in a world full of political tinkerbells, just had to call out the absurd shrine Michelle Obama's been placed on. Let's be honest. The media treats her like she levitates. She could spill a latte on a puppy, and MSNBC would call it a bold act of vulnerability. But dare to question her multi-million-dollar motivational roadshow? Suddenly, it's treated like high treason. Criticizing Michelle is the new solar. Eclipse slander. You don't just get canceled. Nature itself seems to punish you.
Is it, Michelle? It's not. I've been married for 17 and a half years, and not one was bad. I think she and he married the wrong people.
I think you're 100% right. This is only her third episode. I can't think of anybody I would go to for advice less than Michelle Obama. She really doesn't know what she's talking about. First of all, she loves to tell us she hated Barack for a good decade.
Yes.
Okay, please teach me how to have a successful relationship with someone that you clearly respect and admire. Every time she's on the air, it's like, I'm dragging this ball of dead weight behind me. His name, Barack Obama.
Megyn Kelly didn't show up with compliments or Oprah Book Club coupons. She came armed with receipts, razor-sharp commentary, and a mental taser aimed straight at the heart of Michelle Obama's "I'm above politics, but here's why your vote matters" tour. It's the kind of performative contradiction that could power Chicago's entire grid if someone hooked it up to a turbine. Michelle swears she doesn't want to run for office. And sure, technically, she doesn't want the job. She just wants the perks, the praise, the spotlight, the media sainthood. Without the debates, the scrutiny, or the accountability. That's not public service. That's influencer energy with national security clearance. She's political. Barbie with a built-in PR department, glowing, untouchable, and pre-programmed with soundbites about hope, unity, and kale. But this isn't just harmless image inflation. Michelle's become the emotional battering ram shielding her. Husband's legacy. Barack drops the ball? No problem. Michelle floats in with a heartfelt speech about struggle, resilience, and how exhausting it is to be universally adored while sipping sangria with Oprah on a private beach. She's like the political version of Clippy. It looks like you're trying to hold someone accountable. Would you like some poetic deflection instead?
They blame gender for her surrender. This week, Michelle Obama scolded female Trump supporters in front of an audience at a business conference in Boston, a city in Massachusetts. She said the former First Lady, quote, "Any woman who voted against Hillary Clinton voted against their own voice. What does it mean for us as women that we look at those two candidates and many of us said, that guy, he's better for me. His voice is more true to me." Well, to me, that just says you don't like your voice. You like the thing you're told to like. I don't get this. No one likes their own voice. Have you ever listened to your own voicemail? It is horrifying.
Greg Gutfeld, high priest of sarcasm and the undisputed patron saint of eye rolls Gauder, wasn't about to let the Michelle Obama charade slide by unnoticed. He compared her to that co-worker who claims to hate office drama, then organizes a team-building retreat that ends in group therapy and a pending HR lawsuit. Michelle insists she's not into politics, yet she magically appears every election cycle like a motivational jack-in-the-box in pearls. And when she does, the media rolls out the red carpet like it's VE Day, and Michelle just ended global oppression with a well-lit TED Talk. Let's not forget the Netflix documentary, Michelle strolling through stadiums like a divine figure, descending from the heavens except with better lighting and a glam squad worthy of the Oscars. She wasn't selling books. She was delivering a sermon on how misunderstood she is, all while standing under a spotlight brighter than Ecuador's GDP. She claims politics is too mean and messy for her taste. This from the former First Lady whose husband oversaw drone wars and mass deportations like it was spreadsheet work. But no, Michelle's just here for hope, light, and carefully branded conversations, preferably sponsored by Amazon Prime and moderated by Ellen. Even her wardrobe isn't safe from the spin. She wears yellow, and Vogue publishes a 4,000-word think piece about sunflowers, optimism, and post-racial harmony. She wears boots, and suddenly those boots are speaking truth to power. According to Gutfeld, she could show up in a hazmat suit and the New York Times would headline, "Michelle Obama destroys pathogens with grace."
Bringing me down. I'm trying to elevate myself with like these things on my head.
It looks like Mickey Mouse.
It's so
like
weird.
The two ears up there, these two big balls on the left and the right of her head.
Like, what kind of midlife crisis is she in the throes of right now?
No,
she's constantly.
Did you see the other one where she had the three balls on the back of her head, and I think it was Benny Johnson was calling it her Stegosaurus cut. That's what it looks like the back of a Stegosaurus.
Megyn Kelly wasn't buying the glamour-filtered fairy tale either. She hit on the uncomfortable truth. Michelle Obama adores the perks of political capital. But when it comes to criticism, hard pass. She wants the influence without the accountability, the spotlight without the scrutiny. She's mastered the political art of having her cake, eating it, and then guilt-tripping you for noticing the crumbs. And let's not forget Michelle's latest rebrand, as a weary, misunderstood saint. She told millions how painful it was to be called angry, all while tossing soft-spoken shade at half the country in monologues so gentle they could be mistaken for ambient sleep tracks on Audible. It's passive-aggressive righteousness at its most polished. This is the same Michelle who once dismissed flyover states, only to later launch a Get Out the Vote campaign targeting those same states with all the enthusiasm of someone explaining TikTok to their parents. She's for the people, but only during election season. The rest of the time, she's on a yacht whispering to a potted plant about the fragility of democracy. Greg Gutfeld joked she might be the only person who could attend a fundraiser, bash capitalism, and still walk out with a $300,000 check and an ethically sourced diamond. Megyn Kelly agreed, pointing out that Michelle's not just a former First Lady anymore, she's a full-blown lifestyle brand. There's probably a Michelle Obama-branded candle out there that smells like vague moral superiority.
And, the condescension doesn't work. None of what they're doing really works. I mean, the Walls AOC live stream of them playing Madden together was supposed to be to get, dudes who like football on their side, and they did it during football. Who's consulting them on this stuff?
Yeah. It's a
woman, probably, also.
It's a gay man.
Here's a sharper, punchier, clickbait-style rewrite of your paragraph with maximum satire and media-savvy rhythm. Let's be real. Michelle Obama is playing the political Hunger Games on God mode with a cheat code. She drops. Political takes like mic bombs, never faces a single follow-up, and somehow cries about the burdens of being rich, beloved, and married to a two-term president, while the crowd nods like she's a modern-day Joan of Arc instead of a nostalgia-wrapped media product with her own Spotify playlist. Criticize her? Suddenly it's punching down, as if the woman with a private chef, a Netflix empire, and a podcast recorded from her mansion is the underdog in need of protection. And if you do call out the hypocrisy, congrats. You're now labeled an extremist who kicks puppies and probably eats gluten with a side of non-organic cheese. Welcome to the Michelle Obama Motivation Machine TM. Step 1. Announce you're tired of politics. Step 2. Drop a memoir filled with emotional wisdom. Step 3. Appear on every outlet short of Animal Planet. Step 4. Subtly suggest democracy is collapsing, using metaphors about children, the light, and grandma's kitchen table. Step 5. Pocket a 7-figure check while asking Americans to donate $10 to save the Republic. Greg Gutfeld didn't need a decoder ring. He saw through the act like it was flashing in neon. He laughed at the absurdity of a woman claiming she's exhausted by public attention while simultaneously headlining her third national speaking tour with pyrotechnics, opening acts, and more staging than a Super Bowl halftime show. Michelle's humility? It's got more promo than the next Avengers sequel.
So she's constantly like hitting that wound of like, are we divorcing? Don't be gossiping about us. You know, I'm just trying to be an independent woman over here. I hate my husband, but I love my husband. But, you know, when she's not doing that, so her brother is her podcast co-host. She's constantly berating him. Like every episode, you didn't tell me you were having marital problems. Like he has to explain to her a million freaking times, hey, I was trying to work out my marriage. And if it did work out and I told you what the problems were, you would hold a grudge against my wife for the rest of your days.
Which is real. We all know it.
We all know. Nobody holds a grudge like Michelle Obama.
It's amazing. Every word she says about Barack Obama is negative.
Megyn Kelly had an absolute field day tearing into Michelle Obama's "I'm just like you" routine, calling it about as believable as a real housewife claiming she shops at Target with coupons. There's a level of elite disconnect. So deep, you'd need an Elon Musk rocket just to glimpse it. Michelle tells everyday Americans to believe in themselves from a sun-drenched balcony in Tuscany while sipping something organic and perfectly chilled. And don't even start on the Michelle for president fantasy. That's the Democratic Party's ultimate fever dream, a candidate with the Obama brand, zero debate experience, and full media immunity. It's like trying to elect a hologram wrapped in inspirational quotes and luxury athleisure. But hey, if The Rock can run, why not Saint Michelle of the Gourmet Garden? Greg Gutfeld didn't hold back either, sarcastically joking that Michelle's idea of bipartisanship is hugging a golden retriever in front of a burning flag, then blaming the flames on misinformation. She promotes unity, with the charm of someone offering you a warm hug while picking your pocket mid-embrace. The brilliance of Michelle's carefully polished persona. She's weaponized being above it all. She floats over controversy like a drone, quietly filming the chaos while a soft piano soundtrack plays underneath. But Megyn Kelly wasn't letting that slide. Because you can't claim to rise above politics while repeatedly jabbing your opponents with poetic side-eye and passive-aggressive bedtime stories. The act is elegant, but it's still an act.
This is where, like, Michelle Obama is kind of full of it. And you know this is true. When Biden announced he was resigning via fax, nothing weird about it, okay, Obama tweeted that they were looking forward to an open primary where they'd pick a nominee. And I know that to be relevant to this story because you could see that Michelle Obama isn't trying. Like, she accused Trump in that same speech of avoiding interviews. Yeah. On the same night he did a 3-hour interview. That's like accusing Chris Christie of avoiding pizza. You know what I mean?
So what did Greg Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly really expose? That Michelle Obama isn't just a former first lady, she's a full-blown political illusionist. The speeches, choreographed, the tears, timed, the book tours, branded therapy, sessions disguised as national healing. She's pulling inspiration out of a hat while your civil liberties quietly vanish behind the curtain. You think you're watching a leader, but you're actually watching the ultimate brand. Activation. Michelle has elevated the Oprahification of politics to such surreal heights, it's only a matter of time before she launches her own resilience water, with electrolytes, healing crystals, and a QR code to register to vote. All in the name of not being political. Gutfeld and Kelly didn't drop some bombshell scandal. They did something far more dangerous. They pulled back the velvet curtain and confirmed what so many have quietly suspected. The Empress of Inspiration wears custom designer robes, and they're dry cleaned with elite pre-washed political spin. And just when you think Michelle might take a break from her coast-to-coast enlightenment campaign, boom, she reappears. This time on a podcast, swaddled in emotional vulnerability, and dispensing soft focus advice like, we just need to meet people where they are. Sure, Michelle. Most people are buried in debt, juggling 2 jobs, not lounging in a Nantucket reading nook reflecting on how exhausting it is to be adored by the universe.
Oh, I mean, because when you're thinking of victims of this awful world, you think of Michelle Obama and how terrible we've all been to her. This woman is a one-woman destitution derby. Every time we check in on her at her podcast, she is feeling sorry for herself. She is criticizing Barack Obama or this country. She never has a positive word to say about anything.
What made Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly's takedown so savage wasn't name-calling or low blows. It was that they didn't have to exaggerate. Michelle Obama's contradictions are the joke. She's America's favorite non-candidate, who campaigns harder than most actual candidates. Her message? Be better. Her lifestyle? But make it luxury. And every time someone dares point out the hypocrisy, the Obama PR machine storms out with a foghorn labeled racism, drowning valid critique in emotional buzzwords and candlelit montages. The absurdity isn't that Michelle is powerful. It's that she pretends she isn't, while casually wielding more influence than half of Congress combined. That's not empowerment. That's illusion. Thanks to Gutfeld and Kelly, the smoke and mirrors are finally starting to crack. Because the next time Michelle softly tells you she's just here to help, remember, help now comes with a Netflix deal, a stadium tour, a book signing, and probably a Target collab with Hope printed on tote bags. In 2025, public service doesn't mean serving the people. It means never saying you're running, while quietly running everything.